everybody. Scott Burley here with my beautiful wife, Lisa Burley. We're really excited because we are on episode 1, season 2 with Tiffany Haywood. Tiffany, would you like to introduce yourself, please? And
Yes,
tell us a little bit
absolutely.
about yourself.
Yes, I am Tiffany N. Haywood. I am the founder of Transform and Thrive Holistics. I help individuals detox their lives, mind, body, and spirit so they can declutter everything that does not serve them so they can make space for what serves and move forward in a purposeful life.
Beautiful. Oh, wow. I don't know what happened to our sound there. We got some weird feedback, but there's so much in that title right there that we need to like dive deeper into. I think the big thing that sticks out for me is the word detox. So what are you talking about? Like, is there one focus, one main area, or are there several?
Absolutely. So I talk about, I actually have a video in my call it my detox vault, where I actually dive into the misconception of detox. A lot of people, when they hear the word detox, they automatically assume, oh, let me drink something, TMI, but let me drink something to go to the bathroom. Let me drink something to lose my belly fat. Let me drink something to shed some pounds. Like, yes, that's a part of it. That's the physical. But also detoxing your life it includes the mind, detoxing the mind. How am I showing up? How am I feeling? How am I thinking? What am I believing? Detoxing your body. That's where the detox is. I don't necessarily believe in detox teas. My medicine is in my kitchen, starting from fruits and vegetables. So just detoxing my body on a holistic level, absolutely just kind of releasing, which comes from shedding the weight, the pounds, all of the negativity toxins in your body. And then the spirit, just being in tune with yourself, believing in your own values, setting values for yourself and your intuition, and just letting that guide you, whether that's through meditation, prayer, gratitude, silence, all of that. So just pretty much releasing things that no longer serve you, the things that we consume. We automatically think that when we consume things, it's just what we eat, what we drink, but we're consuming chaos. We're consuming noise. We're consuming other people's problems. We wake up every single day in a world full of people, all different types of people. So we come into contact with things that are not serving us, but they're a part of our lives. So just detoxing that. What is not serving me? What do I need to release? What is taking a negative effect on my life? And just releasing that.
I
Continue.
recently just started a neat thing. Well, I just started back on the treadmill and I have never really been a treadmill guy. I did a little bit last year before we left Thailand, and I'm on the treadmill and I feel like my body's like this all the time. And it hurt
Tense.
like my neck's, I got a pinched nerve in my neck, so I stay tense. And on the treadmill, I'm going like I'll be kind of running and I'll be like, no, go away. I don't need the tension. The
Yeah.
tension isn't mine. And would that be kind of a form of detoxing your body?
Absolutely, because you're releasing tension.
Yeah.
And you know, like how we push carts at the grocery store, we're up here, we sit on our desk like this, we sit in our chairs like that. All of that is tension in your shoulders. That's why when we start into meditation, it's just like release. Shoulders back, chest out. That's releasing that tension. So that's releasing things that are no longer serving you. Is tension in your shoulders serving you? No. So you're releasing that. You're putting it out into the universe. You're removing it from your body and you're sending it out into the universe because you can't do anything with it. It's not moving you from A to B to C. So you're releasing that. Yes, that is absolutely a form of
Yeah.
detoxing. Yeah.
Love it. I love that.
Yeah.
So where did the sort of the pivotal point in your life happen that you kind of went, ooh, this has happened. Now I want to do this. I have this like drive or passion.
Yes, absolutely. So I'm actually coming up on my 4th year of my detox anniversary. January 4th, 2022, I started detoxing. And to my own misconception, I thought I was just, losing weight. I thought I was just, it was a part of my transition into veganism. And so I did this 10-day detox from a lady. She's Orishoshun, actually, my baby, my holistic mentor, my guide, my coach. And I followed these 10 days, and it was like a meal plan. It's following the circadian rhythm too, telling you what to eat, when to eat, how much to eat. Getting our bodies back on our biological clock. And I was following this thing for 10 days. I'm losing weight. The pounds are shedding because, I'm putting all these, nutrients and high fibers, all that into my body. So I'm losing the weight. So I'm like, yes, this is good. But what I did not know, or what I did not sign up for, was during that time, with me not being able to fall back on my comfort foods, the foods that I'm used to. When I'm stressed, eat this. When I'm overwhelmed, eat that. When I'm tired, eat that. I didn't have those usual foods. So it allowed me and forced me in a way to sit with, how am I feeling? What am I, when we feel stressed, we go and eat this. When I'm stressed, we go and watch that. When we're stressed, we go and rant on social media. And when I do these 10 days, I'm not on social media. I don't talk to anyone. I don't text anyone. I don't really listen to music other than meditation and gospel. I don't really watch TV unless it's like documentaries, but anything that will have my heart racing, anything that will have my rate up, I stay away from it because I'm in the process of releasing for 10 days. So I don't have the social media to run to bed. I don't have the people to call on the phone if I'm having a stressful day. So I literally 10 days, I sit with myself. 10 days, I'm following this strict meal plan to say, hey, eat this, eat that, don't eat this, don't eat that, eat this amount. And so during that time, I learned so much about myself because I didn't have all the external distractions and chaos and factors to run to when I was feeling overwhelmed, when I was feeling stressed. So I'm sitting there journaling every day, and I am like, I thought I was just losing weight. I thought I was just becoming a vegan, like this, shaking some things up inside of me. And so I really sat with that. And even now, I detox at least twice a year just to hit the reset button, just to get clarity, just to move myself into a higher level of where I'm coming from, where I'm wanting to go, where I am, and just sitting with that. So learning about that, and it didn't stop there. I actually joined her academy where I learned how to lose weight for other people, teaching people how to create meal plans, offering meal plans as well, and remedying ailments and diseases in the body and all of those things. So I just kind of packaged all of that knowledge as well as my personal experience. And people need to know this exists. Like you can really check, like we think like we diet, as we call it, we diet all the time, but how are you dieting? How are you nourishing your body? How are you feeding your mind? What are you staying away from? So I just kind of turned all of that into the foundation behind my business, my company, my mission, my philosophy, and my holistic framework, detoxing your life, your mind, your body, and your spirit. So I just teach other people the exact same thing, changing the way you eat, focusing on the things you eat, focusing on the things that surround you. And we oftentimes too feel like because it's life, we just have to deal with it. And I tell people all the time, I am an adult. I can say yes and no to whatever I want to. As children, we don't have that. Like yes, when we listen to our parents and all that, but as adults, and I tell people all the time, who's going to put you in timeout if you say no? So if you don't want things in your space, set boundaries. Just you have to show up for yourself. We cannot live our lives for other people because you're going to be mad, you're going to be upset, you're going to be regretful, resentful, angry. No, just it's what you make your life out to be. So release those things. If these people are no longer serving you, if these foods are no longer serving you, these habits, these thought processes, release it all. So that's why I don't just focus on detox teas and relaxing, releasing things from your body. It's everything.
Yeah, I love that word release.
I like that word too, because in the community we live in, I'm involved in 12-step programs, and there's a bunch of people in the 12-step program in the MOBAN that we live in. And some of them kind of rubbed me the wrong way. But at first it was like keep them away. However, this year I've found I can show up authentically and be pleasant and courteous and have conversation with them, but I've released them from my spirit because they have no I have no energy for them anymore other than just to be hi, bye, oh, you look good today, and that sort of good morning, and
just being cordial.
Yeah.
That's it. Just being courteous because they're human and you're human. And that's what it's all about, is just setting those relationships. A lot of us, as I mentioned, we think that we just have to be around people because, oh, we're human. Sometimes we just genuinely cannot hold space with certain people and their energy and what they bring. And that's okay. That's why I tell people all the time, and I teach this thoroughly, thoroughly. Boundaries are not just for other people. Boundaries are for us as well. So
Yes.
we want to put in boundaries, telling people, don't come into my space, don't do this, don't do that. Okay, what about yourself? Check yourself. I don't want to be over there. I don't want this person in my environment. So we set boundaries for ourselves as well. So Scott, for you, that was amazing. You're like, I don't have to converse with these people, befriend these people and hang out. Hey, how you doing? You look nice today, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
That's you setting boundaries for yourself. And it's discipline too.
Yeah, big time awareness.
Well, for one, I would have to hang on to all the stuff, the stories.
Mm.
And the stories don't mean anything because the stories happened yesterday. Well, not
Yeah.
yesterday, but in the
Gotcha.
past. And today's today and not the future. So why am I like I'm releasing that stuff? And
Yeah.
it's for some of us it's a long process, and some people kind of seem to get it fairly fast. And
Yeah.
I'm one of those people that it's been a long process, but
Yeah.
so
And
When
you're
you
right.
want, okay.
You're right, Tiffany. This understanding that we don't all have space for everyone's energy. I experienced that, I think it was last year. I had a new friend over and was kind of getting to know this new friend, and I was discovering that her energy was overwhelmed for me. And I actually had to say to her, I'm sorry, I need to ask you to probably go. Like she was over at my home and I was like, I need to have my own time. I said, I'm feeling like I don't know what the word, I'm like overflowing and I can't, I can't. I felt like I would just want to say
You
that.
just didn't have space, or you
Have
didn't have the
space.
capacity to take on her
Yes.
energy and everything else. Yeah, and
Yes.
that's even you saying that, like
Yes.
you spoke that. You know how many people suffer in those environments,
yep,
and they
Yes.
just
tons.
allow it because we're so worried about how we're going to make someone else feel.
Yeah.
We're worried about what someone is going to say. What am I feeling? What
Yes.
am I going to say to myself? And then if you would have said in that, I'm going to give you an example. Had you said in that, you would have started feeling bad after the fact. You would have
Yeah.
started self-talk, self-negative talking yourself. Why did I allow that? I knew I wanted that woman to leave, but I allowed, and then now you're going to say, why can't I speak up for myself? Why am I just allowing myself to? And then that's when the negative self-talk starts, and then we start being hard on ourselves as we say, "Oh, we're our biggest critic." We are, but you don't have to be. Give yourself grace. Be compassionate with yourself. So good job for you. Kudos. That was amazing. You was like,
Yeah.
I just had to tell her, like, no,
Yeah.
ma'am.
And I know I had been going through lots of sort of emotional awareness over the last couple of years, and having that, for me it's like feels like negative energy around. It was like, yeah, I was at my capacity. I was like, I had enough kind of thing, and I needed my own time and my own space. And so I totally hear you. Yeah.
It is kind of funny though. You kind of get past one hurdle, and then
Okay.
all of a sudden you see something else that, oh, I need to work on this just a little. Like it's
Yeah.
smaller than the last hurdle, but
Yeah.
Because
then
when you overcome, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
it's that why I love having these great conversations because it
Yeah.
helps you just over that next hurdle a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, and it's like once we make it to and that's why I preach this and I live it as well. I try my best to live it. Start small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when we look at all the things we need to change about ourselves, we like, that's a lot. Even just thinking about it can be overwhelming. So start small. Change the way you show up for yourself. Change the way you protect your peace. Change the way you allow people. Just start small because when you start like making those small adjustments, you're gonna feel I could have been done this. That was super easy. And then as Scott said, then you're like, okay, now I can tackle this, and something else presents itself. It's like you just start becoming so aware of yourself because it feels good. Like I did that. Like Lisa, I did that. Like I could do it again and again and again because you
And
felt like I stood on that and I
yeah.
felt okay about it. Yeah.
Exactly.
And the cool part is just like falling for all the negative, how it snowballs, healing snowballs. And
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
you would never have convinced me that for years because it was like I was so stagnant and so stuck.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's all we need a lot of the time is just someone to, one, believe in us,
Mm-hmm.
two, someone that will hold us accountable, and three, someone who can support us. That's really all it's about. Finding someone who can see the value in you. We don't always see it in ourselves. Again, going back to, we are our biggest critic. We're so hard on ourselves, but we go out into the world and treat everyone so nicely. Like, what about me? So just having someone who can believe in you, someone who can say, hey, you're slipping again, or hey, I can see you doing this better or that, and support you in a loving, kind, compassionate way. If we can all find those people, we would be so much better off. Like, it's inevitable not to grow when you have that inspiration around you, that motivation, that support. Yeah, that's why when people are just stuck and stagnant and they stay there, I'm like, you don't have to. And I know just my words won't change anything, but that's why I do what I do. So I can allow people to see there's another way to live, there's another way to be. There's work that you can do to change the way you thought you had to be. This is a new way. Show up this way. It's doable. It's okay. And it's so much rewarding. It is so much more rewarding to be a better version of yourself than what you may have been
Oh,
past 20 years, 30 years. Change is great. It's uncomfortable at times, but it's great. It really is. Yeah.
so you talked about love, and through my lifetime, I've had a few relationships. I've been married once, and then I met Lisa at a 7-day self-development class, and we get sent, we're on silent mode, and we're supposed to write our hopes, dreams, and goals. I'm angry, I'm bitter, I'm resentful. So you can imagine what my hopes, dreams, and goals look like.
Yeah.
So I go to sleep and I wake up in the morning and I don't even have my eyes open again. And it's like you ripped yourself off again. Rip that piece of paper up and put something down that means something. So I put down, not a girlfriend. I put down I wanted a partner.
Important.
And don't ask me, because my age, a partner means you're on the other
Same
side of the
sex.
fence.
Yeah.
And I
That's what
know
we grew
that
up
in
with.
today's world, that's not, but anyways, so that day we had this high rope exercise, and it's a little bit of a long story, but this guy, Felipe, he changed my life forever. He goes, what's your biggest goal or hope? And I told him I wanted a partner. And he goes to me, well, what are you going to say to her when you wake up in the morning? I said, well, I'll roll over and say, hey, babe, I love you. And he's like, why don't you one up that? And I'm thinking, how can you one up that? And he goes, why don't you roll over and say, hey, babe, how can I love you today? And for me,
That is a one
that's
up.
so profound, because I've always thought I've known how to love people, but I really don't. Because I think I shouldn't say I think, today I know every single one of us needs to be loved a little bit differently. Like
Say that
some
all the
people need it a
time.
little, like when they're growing, they need the tough love and then a hug. And some people just need gentle, and
Yeah.
then some people like in between. And it was you talked about uncomfortable. It was
Yeah, it
it was
was.
really uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, the first year was
Yeah.
uncomfortable waking up every morning. How can I love you today? Like the night before, I'd be like, what am I going to tell him? What am I going to tell him? What do I want? How do I want him to love me
However, though,
today?
it brought us closer together.
Yeah.
And then somewhere in
Oh,
the year, I think it was me, but one of us came up with, did I fulfill my commitment to you today?
Yes, with the end of the night, we
At
would
the end of the night.
ask. Yeah.
love
And
that.
Yeah.
and it's like, because we in society, we just assume they're going to be there.
Yep.
Why
Mhm.
not? If we do this, we're drawing the person into our lives and vice versa, instead of having a little bit of a wall. Because when you're talking about positive stuff, it opens you up to talk about all the stuff that really matters.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And
I
sometimes
love
even
that.
there, my brain still goes, "Oh, are you really talking about this?"
But you know what that is? And I teach this all the time. Being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because growth is uncomfortable. It's changing us out of our comfort zone. It's stretching us. It's forcing us. It's pulling us. It's pushing us. So if we just continue to sit in our comfort zone, where's the growth? So you have to become comfortable with being uncomfortable, or else you're just going to stay where it's comfortable. And I teach my people all the time the comfort zone. In my workshops, I'll say the comfort zone is what? They're like the danger zone. Because
That's a
I
good
teach them like, yeah, like I teach them like being comfortable, staying in their comfort zone is dangerous. Because how are you growing? How are you changing? How are you opening your mindset? How are you moving forward in life? And I always give this example. I ask them all the time, are you still able to fit your baby clothes? And they're like, huh? What? Huh? You had to change, right? You had to change. So now you're going to buy different size clothes, different size shoes, different whatever. You can't, we're not babies. We have to change. Life is going to change regardless if we're changing with it. So why not just keep up? So yeah, but it's so funny. I'm like, what's the comfort zone? The danger zone.
That's good. That's good.
I like that one.
And going back to your point, Tiffany, about, it's about really looking at yourself and how you can do things like detox and how you can sort of grow yourself. To add on to Scott's story,
Just a brief pause in the show. If you'd like to dive deeper into our work, our books are available on Amazon. You can also get instant electronic copies at payhip.com/Lisa Scott Brearley authors. Now, back to the show.
we would do this whole, probably the first year, we would ask, how can I love you? And did I fulfill my commitment? And then as I was growing more, I came to the point of like, oh my God, why am I not asking myself, how can I love you today? So like, it was like this next step of like looking in the mirror and going, how can I love you today, Lisa? Like, what is it? Drink more water. What is it? Like, have some self-care time, go for a walk, spend time with the dog. Like, what is it that you need, Lisa, to have a healthier day or happier day or more peace? So it's like I think that's kind of where your focus is going, right? How can you love yourself? Right?
Yeah, because we can't be something to someone that we're not to ourselves. We can try to love people, but if we don't truly love ourselves, you're going to love people incorrectly. You're going to misjudge the way, like Scott just said, you're going to misjudge the way you love people. We're going to automatically assume, oh, I'm loving you. That's not the way I need you to show up for me. That's not the way I need your love. Like Scott just said, it could be tough love with a hug. It could be gentleness. It could all of those things. But how can I give that to someone when I can't even recognize it in myself? So how can I recognize that I'm loving someone if I don't even know what it looks like internally? So yeah,
Exactly.
absolutely. It starts with
And
that inner work for sure.
yeah, for sure. And I want our audience to know this because I think a lot of people um, look at us even and go, oh, they've got it all figured out or something was complete or finished when they met each other. Like as if you arrive at a destiny or arrive at a final destination of perfection. And it wasn't about that when Scott and I met. I think it was this level of we both knew we wanted better, more something. And so we had come to this place. We definitely were not any perfect sort of souls when we both met each other in regards to what people saw us as, right? It's a constant journey of growth. And we supported each other in that growth,
Yeah.
Even
right?
this is from where I come from, this is statements really crazy. The biggest argument we've had in 4.5 years is I'm at odds with you today.
We're actually able to communicate. Let's
And
put it that way.
then we just kind of leave each other. I mean,
Yeah.
there's times we can't, like yesterday, we had a day where our communication skills
What's going
were
on?
like, didn't matter what we did, we couldn't hear each other, we didn't listen, we didn't. And I just said, I'm at odds with you today and I need a break. And we just kind of
Had a break
had a
and
break,
came back to it later.
but not separated ourselves from each other. Just
We had an energy break.
an
I guess.
energy break and woke up this morning and we were fine and we didn't have to fight and we didn't have to belittle each other. We supported each other and
Yeah. That's pretty
And
cool.
that's really what it's about, is having, going back to what I just mentioned, just having that person that, and that could look like a partner, or like Scott said back then, it looked like this, but it could be a friend, it could be a partner, a spouse, a mate, a relative, anything, or a coach, a life coach, it could be anything. And what you all have, it's like, it's not like you all are, hey, let's meet up to do this work together. Hey, I'm feeling like this today. It's constantly in your household together. And you both are pulling each other up to be the best version of each other. So you all are internally doing the work and also supporting your partner while you're continuing to grow. So
Yeah.
that's one and done. That's amazing. So with you mentioning that people say, oh, they completed each other or they have the perfect match.
Yeah.
When you really think about it, it is, because you all are literally equally yoked. You're on the same level. Like, I want this for myself and I also want this for you. I want this for myself and I want this for you too. So just keep pulling each other up. Like, that's what it's about. So I agree with your audience and your listeners. I agree. When you have that support, especially when someone is walking the same path as you, the same growth journey, the same personal development, like, not, because not everyone is doing this work.
No.
It's not simply, it's definitely not easy, but everyone is not doing it. So when you find someone, when you find it in yourself to say, okay, this is what I want for myself, people are already falling off because they're like, oh my God, no, no, ma'am. Like, what are you talking? Because it's so foreign to them. But when you find someone else who's on that same journey and they're like, hey, I didn't even know other people existed, and you're right here this close, let's go. And you just pull each other up and just keep going. So that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's funny though? How you said it's not easy. It's really messy in the beginning,
Mm.
and it gets messier after that. And
Yeah.
then I find today fairly easy because I don't have to put all the energy into all the stuff that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Mm.
And that's one of the reasons why I love doing these podcasts. Like, if we can help a couple people out just by these simple talks we have, I mean, I know they help me out, so, but help the audience out just a little bit and
Yeah.
know they're not alone and find different avenues to get help.
Absolutely.
And sometimes you never know, like you were talking about, it could be a friend, could be a partner. It could be like a complete stranger you literally meet on the street.
Yes.
Like, that's the cool thing. I think when you start looking up, like not at our phones, like looking up at people, opening your mouth. This is one thing I discovered, like literally just saying hi or opening your mouth and saying have a great day to someone you don't know, being curious, asking a stranger how's their day. Like, you never, like when you open that field of energy, you never know the amazing stuff that can happen to you and the people you meet. It's absolutely incredible. And that's, I think, the positive ball that gets, it just gets
Get the
multiplied,
ball rolling.
multiplied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm also that way. What I do, with you mentioning that, it just made me think of something. What I do to strangers is I pick on them. Like, I'll say something like, it was a guy the other day. We were like, going into the grocery store, and we were both like trying to pull the carts apart, to go into the store. And I was like, hey man, I said, where are your muscles? I'm the woman. And he just started cracking up. Like, we were both struggling to get these grocery carts apart. I was like, hey man, where are your muscles? I'm the woman. And he was like, well, let's work together. Like, and then something like, we got our carts and we both put it to the store. Have a good rest of your day. Like, just something simple. So I just like to pick on people to make people laugh. Like, okay, let me breathe them, just a little bit. But some people just, like you said, Lisa, some people just need that. Hi, we never know what someone is going through at home. And then we just still have to put on this face to go in public. Some people need that. Just a smile. Hi, how are you doing? Compliments. Oh my God. Compliments make people's lives change. Like, in an instant, like, you could just simply say, oh, I like your shoes, or I like your hair, or that's a cute car, a cute bag, or a cute coat. And they, oh, thank you. They probably haven't smiled in days. You just never really know. And like you said, just starting small talk, small conversations. Some people are waiting for people to just come up to them and start talking. Some people, they may not even know, they may not even be the starter. But if you just come up and hold a conversation, they're just like, oh my God, I've been waiting for someone to talk to me. You just never know. So, and that goes back to that compassion, just being kind. just being open, just open-minded. Like some people, like, I don't know them, I'm not talking to them. You are the same. We are all walking the same life. My journey may look different than yours. My life certainly will look different than yours, but we all have the same goal in mind. It's to live. Help someone live better. It doesn't cost you anything. So I love that.
We had an interesting night tonight. I went for donaires, and there was a gentleman there from Australia, and we talked to him for a bit. Then all of a sudden, there was a bunch of school kids showed up, all dressed in their uniforms. And of course, in my brain, the first thing I thought is, oh, they're looking for donations. That's just what I thought. So negative, I put negative out into the atmosphere. However, all they were doing was going around and talking to tourists.
They're practicing their English skills.
They're practicing their English skills.
Yeah. Interviewing.
And so they're interviewing us and asking us what we like about it. And you could see the girls were like,
So nervous.
so they're almost shaking. And it's like, so it was like, just be polite and courteous and make them laugh a little bit. And I know it was fun. Like they go, what do you like most about Thailand? And I said, the nice people that live here. And it helped. And I watched it. They just
The ice broke. You just
Yeah.
saw it. Just
Yeah.
you saw them melting and warming up. Like, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that did the same thing for you too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's so great. I want to go back to what you started out at the first of our podcast, talking about how you went on, I don't know if it was a 14-day, 10-day,
10 days.
10-day. So who did, because I just know somebody will be listening to this and go, I need to do something about my diet. Where do I start? So what is your suggestion? I know they can come to you. But where should they be looking for help for something like a food detox or a shift with food?
Yeah, so I'm actually in the process of creating my own meal plans and detox plans. So that will become available soon in 2026 on my website. However, what people can do, because I know some people think like my family for sure, they're like 10 days. Are you insane? So as I mentioned, start small. That's my motto, start small. So for individuals, when I say detoxing your life, even just the diet part, the physical part, what they can even start at home is just increasing their fiber. Because once you release those toxins out of your body, and fiber, we all know, makes the bowel continue to flush and things like that. So that's just, of course, a snippet, but just increase your fiber with fruits. What individuals can do starting at home, starting small. Look, I'm not going to throw 10 days on anyone, 10-day commitment when they've been living a certain way. So look, to be fair and compassionate, just take one high fiber fruit, blend it with 16 ounces of water, and consume it at least 3 times a day. So that could be one grapefruit with 16 ounces of water. That's high fiber. They could do melons. They could do maybe like a half a cantaloupe, blend that with water, 16 ounces. Just drink that. Just see that. So I wouldn't recommend like mixing them all up. Pick one fruit, blend it at least, like I said, consume at least 3 a day. Watch your bowels move. And another thing too that we don't really understand or know is that fat inside of our body, it sticks to the toxins in our body. So that's leftover food, our bowels. And another thing too, we walk around with, on average, 20 pounds of waste in our colon. Yeah, a lot of people don't know that. When I learned that, I was like, oh my God. So when I lost 48 pounds, my body literally still looks the same. I just, of course, gained more. But when I tell people I lost 48 pounds, they're like, where? I'm like, well, about 15, 20 was in my stomach. So that's for starters. And then the rest, like my fat just like melted off. Like even still to this day, when I tell people that it's hard for me to gain weight, it's not like a medical condition. It's just because I detox regularly. So my body doesn't recognize fat because I detox regularly. I'm releasing the toxins. They're coming through my urine. They're coming through my feces. They're coming through my sweat. They're coming through, they're coming through. It's like fat literally melts and it comes out. And so when you're melting that fat, releasing that, releasing those toxins from your body, that fiber is having your bowels moving and releasing, your body just sheds weight.
Amazing.
Because like that you're releasing the toxin. So the fat is like, okay, where do I go? The fats don't really have anything to stick to. So
I'm sure many people who you work with, your clients, that probably freaks them out a little bit that you've gone, of course, the way of vegan, right? So no
yeah.
meat or anything like that. And I'm sure there's a lot of hesitant people in that sort of understanding that I have to go that way.
Oh no, 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 no. So, and that's what I tell people too all the time, my audiences, my clients, my just people around the way. My journey doesn't have to look like yours. There's no one standard way to live, but the best way to live is healthy. That's all it is. That's the end goal, is to live healthy. You don't have to be vegan. You don't have to be sober like I am. You don't have to be natural. You don't have to be holistic. You don't have to live the way I live, but I'm going to help you how to live healthy. That's my goal. Just live a better life. Whatever version that looks like to you, you can still eat meat and be healthy. I just choose not to eat meat and consider myself healthy. That's just my personal, preference and lifestyle. But you don't have to become vegan. That's why I said when I signed up for this, I thought I was just, oh, I'm going to become vegan. I became vegan, natural, sober, holistic. I started helping other people. Like it opened so much for me. So whatever, others, listeners, audience, my clients, whoever, what do you want out of this? And that's what you work towards. So just detoxing along the way, that's a stepping stone to get wherever you want to go, whether that's to live better, to remedy your own illnesses or diseases, or even before that, I had severe eczema. I've had eczema since I was 13 years old.
Me too.
I've had allergies since I was probably around the same age. They actually kind of came around, which I was like, why would they do that to me at the same time? But I was on 4 medications before I started detoxing in 2022. I was on 4 different medications for just my eczema and just my allergies. They literally had me on a steroid cream for my eczema. Mind you, my eczema was only on my hands and on my wrist. To this day, I don't take any medicine. I remedied my own allergies, my own eczema. Like I have not had a breakout on my hand in probably like 3 years, because I started out vegetarian because I didn't want to do too much. I was like, okay, girl, like you've been eating meat your entire life, dairy, all that. Just baby step, baby step. So I became vegetarian first. I still noticed the eczema and all that, which, I wasn't looking to remedy anything. But when I changed my diet and I started noticing your hands are clearing up, like you can go outside in the pollen and all that and you're okay. And I was like, I'm going to say this. So that's what made me walk in this, like this is helping me. So other people, live how you want to live. Just live healthy. That's it. Whatever that looks like. So yeah, just show up better for yourself, whether that's physical, which I of course recommend physical, mental, and spiritual. But start physical, because when you feel better, you're going to show up better. It's inevitable not to, because if you eating all of this bad stuff and all this, things that heavy on you, you're going to feel heavy. Your spirit is going to feel heavy. Your mind, you're going to have all these thoughts going through your head. So when it starts physically a lot of the time. But mentally, you really have to start there. Okay, this is what I want for myself. Then you move and just keep touching all of those 3 pillars: the mind, the body, and the spirit. And eventually, once all of those are in harmony, you're alive. You cannot beat that. So you'll begin to realize, okay, when this is out, when my mind is not intact, or when my mind is in disarray, it's going to affect your physical. It's going to affect your spiritual and your physical. And then you're going to know, because you're going to have the tools, and you're going to say, okay, I remember this happening. You're going to make it your mission. Okay, I need to show it better. That's physical, spiritual, mental. Like and you're going to feel convicted when I eat certain things, like vegan cookies or something. I'm just like, now you know better. Like that sugar is not. So it's like, but it's like when you get to a certain level in life with your journey, you start feeling negative and guilty when you start to try to revert back. Because mentally, we cannot unlearn. I don't care.
No.
We cannot unlearn. You may want to forget about it. It may be something old, but we cannot unlearn. Like they say, you never stop learning how to ride a bike. You never unlearn. So when you open your mind to, okay, what is holistic detoxing? And you start detoxing, and then you try to go back to your old lifestyle, eating this, drinking that, whatever that looks like, you're going to feel like, this doesn't feel right. And your body will tell you it's not right. Absolutely. Your body is like, we are not used to this anymore. So yeah.
It's kind of crazy how we've all of a sudden, oh, I'm going to misbehave and have a cookie.
But we didn't think about it back then. Cookies, just
Yeah,
eat
Yeah.
you know,
cookies. But
eat the whole
now it's like,
bag or box.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, like I would literally like I may eat a cookie like every now and then because I remove sugar out of my diet. Like even now, like I may have sugar maybe like once, maybe twice a month, if that. And I just went to a vegan restaurant the other day and they had these sandwich cookies. Like the cream in the middle and the two cookies, like an oatmeal pie or something, but they were vegan. So I'm like, oh, it's vegan. But he was like, do you want a cookie with your meal? I was like, I was looking at it, but I don't think I should. He was like, why not? I was like, and then I started thinking back, like, okay, I haven't had sugar since before I detoxed. I just recently did a detox November 1st through the 10th. And I haven't had sugar since October. So I was like, you can get a cookie. But even while I'm eating it, I'm feeling so bad, like, no, the sugar's not good. So it's like I was beating myself up, but I was still like, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm only human. So, but just when you really start on this journey of self-discovery, health, wellness, clarity, all of that, you're going to start like things that no longer serve you. You're going to know what is no longer serving you because you're going to think about it. It's going to weigh your mind down, and then it's going to feel so bad on your mind. You're going to say, okay, I'm done. I can't do it anymore. And then you're going to start getting away with it, start releasing things to the point where you don't pick them back up again because you remember how guilty you felt when you did it. You remember how you kept going back and forth with yourself. It was heavy in your mind, keeping you up at night. So that's when you know it's no longer serving you.
Yeah.
And one of the cool parts about the change, like getting rid of, and I'm guilty, I eat a little bit of sugar and stuff, not a lot, and I'll eat some
Yeah.
chips once in a while. But tonight we went and had fresh coconuts. And we're drinking the
Ooh.
water, like the water out of the coconut. And it's like I took one sip and I'm like, it tastes like they put sugar in this.
It was
Like
so
it was
sweet.
that
Yeah.
sweet. I mean,
We
we've
watched
drank,
her open it, so we know
yeah,
she did it.
we've drinking a couple since we were here, but it was like one of the, I'm literally, it was like, wonder if they did inject sugar in this. It was that sweet.
It's so good.
But
However,
your
though,
mindfulness,
when we
your
scraped,
Yeah,
mindfulness, like,
mindfulness. Yeah.
when we scraped it, that wasn't as good.
Yeah, the meat
So I
wasn't
think
as
that,
sweet.
I think it took like, it was overripe or like something
Yeah.
like
different.
super sweet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why it was super sweet because it stole it from the meat or the pulp.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
He was like, did they put sugar in that?
Yeah.
Have that mindfulness because you reached a level. Like someone who just eats sugar, they wouldn't have had the
Oh,
same thoughts
no.
as you. Like, oh, this is sweet. They're like, oh, this is sweet. They would have enjoyed it more versus did they put sugar in that? Someone probably would be hoping, can you add sugar in this? Like,
Exactly. I know. It's crazy.
I
yeah.
actually went, I'm a diabetic and I went 5 years with absolutely no medication.
That's
So
amazing.
just diet. And then I ended
Yeah.
up getting put on some medication for something that was going on and my sugar levels went from 6.3 to 19 overnight.
Because of a
So
medication.
then I went up back on metformin and I ended up on a fairly high dose till I got off the medication. And then when I came back to Thailand, I'm down to a low dose and Lisa's like, you gonna go off? And I'm like, no, I'm only on half a dose now. Not even, they're giving, nowadays in Canada, they're giving people that are potential diabetics the dose that I'm getting. And it's like, you're only a potential diabetic.
Well,
Yeah.
that's what I was gonna make a comment, but I was gonna say like, that's a different segment podcast, but
Yeah.
it's to keep us sick
Yeah,
so they
oh,
can make money.
100%.
No.
Yeah, the
Yeah, we know.
pharmacy, the food, and the healthcare world. All, as my mom would say, all in cahoots.
All in cahoots. I
Yeah, keep us
know.
sick. Look, the stores keep us sick. We buy the food. We go to the doctor, run up the healthcare bill. Then the insurance is high, and it just keeps the medicine. Now we're on medicine for things.
And now we're stressed. And so we're having mental health issues. Oh, it's all
Autism,
But-
ADHD,
but all
bipolar,
Yeah.
schizophrenia. Yeah.
whole bunch.
But without talking a little bit about this stuff,
Mhm.
we're not talking about the whole truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people are like, and it is, it's like, was it, no, 2 years ago, we rode across Canada. Well, actually, we went through the States for part of it and then up into Alberta. And I went to this gas station to fill the bike up and I go in to pay and I seen a sign on the door. I think it was $6.99 a month. And you could fill your big gulp up every day. Like a 20 or 30 ounce drink. And it's like,
Oh my God.
I know. It's like you want to throw
like
up
it's
thinking
pure,
about
it's
it.
pure sugar. There's nothing in it that's
Just made me grab my throat.
I know. It's like,
Tasted
oh.
that sugar. Like,
and,
oh.
and it's no wonder why we got an obesity and an ADHD and a addiction and
Mental health
mental health
issues.
issues just on that alone. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
Just
crazy.
look at how prevalent autism is in almost every child now.
yeah.
Where did that just come? Like autism, autism, it's been there, but why is it so prevalent now? Because of what we're eating.
Yeah.
As parents, we're carrying our child. That's passing right into our children. Hormones. My mom and I were just talking about children the other day. Not to get too off topic, but we're on the topic of food. How these young girls' bodies are looking these days. They're looking like grown women because of the hormones their mothers are eating, the hormones that their fathers are eating. Like, but you expect to have these small babies are 8 pounds now, 9 pounds now, 10. My nephew was 12 pounds when he was born.
Well,
Well,
out.
12 pounds. My nephew now, I think when he's 6, he just made 6. He looks like, no exaggeration, he looks like maybe like about an 8-year-old.
Yeah.
Like he is super tall. He's big. He even plays football. He's been playing football since he was like 4 because he's that big.
That big.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's one thing, and I keep thinking the word give us grace. So you talked about starting small. So making that, the fruit, having the 3 servings of the fruit in your blend or whatever, in starting small. And it when you think about how long it took you to get into the bad habits, it takes a time to get into the good
Mhm.
habits and to give yourself some grace and to go gentle on yourself. And I like how you said that though, Tiffany, start small. Start with one habit and gain sort of that confidence in that habit. And for me personally, having a mentor, like someone to guide you with some facts, some expertise, maybe your cheerleading section. But I know for myself, I actually went through 4 years of learning about food and how food affects you, both your physical body and your kind of your emotional sort of understanding that you have around food. Like we don't think about that a lot. Like those people who are aware of what they eat, they are even more aware when they go to like parties and you're going to a function and you're like, oh my gosh, everybody's going to be drinking and having yucky crappy food and blah blah blah. So it's like understanding that it takes time to develop those good habits. And yes, there'll be times where we're like, oh, that happened. Oh, tomorrow's a new day. So just start on your new day, right?
And there's sometimes you have absolutely no choice.
Yeah.
Like you're at a function where they're serving this food and you're hungry
Well,
and
then
it's either leave the function and go.
but I think one thing that I know I learned, it is about preparing and planning.
Yeah.
A lot of that
100%.
comes into it, but I totally hear you. There's many a times where you arrive at a place and you're like, I need to eat something. And
Yeah.
there's not really something that's beneficial for me here, but
We did
A
something
lot of
really,
times I eat before.
yes,
I eat
do
before I
that
go to a
too.
lot of functions, especially being like vegan and I'm allergic to seafood, shellfish, all that. So I've been like having to mentally prepare for functions before I even stepped into this lifestyle. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I agree.
last year, just before we were having some stomach problems in Thailand. So we decided to go do a food intolerance test.
Ooh, I haven't done one of those yet.
Well,
Ooh.
I had so much stuff that where I was intolerant of, like even lettuce, mango. There was all sorts of stuff like that. Like what else can you? But
The
anyways,
list was long.
I went from 200 pounds to 185 pounds overnight. literally overnight. I'm back
Yeah.
up to the 200. I could only sustain the list because I had like 4 pages of stuff that I worked.
It's a lot.
And it was finally,
Wow.
I can't do this anymore. And
Yeah.
because it didn't really make me feel any different. I did it for almost 3 months, I think. And
Okay.
it was just like, nope, I'm done.
Yeah.
Can't do it anymore. My mentally just tapped out.
Yeah.
However, though, I didn't go, yeah, I can eat everything.
no.
I
Yeah.
No, just
how a
like
lot of us
reintroduce.
do, like just reintroduce food slowly. And
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that would go home from work, and on the way home from work, I'd stop and buy an $8 or $10 bag of
Like jujubes
jujubes or wine
This
gums.
is back in the day.
And I would eat in 3
I was
days, I
like,
would
what's
eat a
that?
$10 bag full of them. And it's like, I mean, I know a $10 bag today isn't that big, but
Yeah.
you still shouldn't eat that much, even.
Yeah.
But back
Like
then,
you
you could get
say,
like
and
a
then you
bag
don't
full.
say.
And then I was all mad that I got diabetes. Really?
As a result of the bag.
Yep.
But that's why I like now, like my new, like my philosophy is detox your life because it encompasses everything
Yeah, I
about
love
your
that.
existence and just how people get there. Like people are like, where to start? How do I even start? My motto, which is now I'm, maybe attaching to my philosophy, is transform from within, one habit at a time.
Yeah.
It starts with our habits.
Yeah.
What have we gotten accustomed to? What are we used to doing? What are we choosing to do? Just start changing one habit at a time, and that's equivalent to starting small. Start somewhere. If we just think of, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. We just look out, like Scott said, just look at that long list of no, 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 no. You're gonna be like, okay, no. We're gonna push it. Absolutely not, because I'm overwhelmed looking at it. Like why would I even start? If you see this big, tall list of clutter, mental clutter, you see all of this, I need to do, you're gonna be like, I would just rather not do. So just pick one out. Okay, let me do that. Okay, let me do this. And just go from there. Next thing you know, your whole bucket is empty, or Scott said, then now something else is added to it. Now something else is added to it. But now you've conquered 10, 20 things. Now you know how to keep conquering. And just keep going and keep going. Because I tell people all the time, we will never feel complete. And I know that's probably oxymoron, but we will never feel complete because there's always room for growth.
Yeah.
There's always something to change. And being on a journey, it's not, or transformation isn't a destination, it's a journey.
Yeah.
There is no end goal.
No.
Honestly, we'll never really reach that end goal. Just keep working towards it. Because the more you keep at it, the better you're going to feel. So even if you do give yourself a deadline or finish line, okay, that's one down. What's on? Just keep going, pushing yourself outside of your what? Your comfort zone, aka your danger zone.
Yeah.
Your danger zone. I love it. I love it.
I'm gonna remember that now.
I know.
Since we've been in Thailand, back in Thailand this time,
Final pause. If you've got a message on your heart and want to be our guest, don't be shy. We'd love to hear from you. Visit forwardwalkingchoices.com, scroll to the Soulmates and Suitcases podcast section, and click Apply Here. Now back to the show.
We've been experimenting a lot with their different curries. And of course, you get the stuff you want to put in the meal. So I'm on my motorcycle one day and mango and chicken. I wonder if there's a recipe to go with curry. And
Yep.
I find an amazing recipe. You know what it has? They say add sugar. 2 mangoes and sugar. Like what?
And sugar.
And sugar. What? And what's
the mango
cool,
is the sugar.
I know. So, but what's cool is it's pretty spicy. But you puree 1 mango, and then you put the other one in chunks. So you'll be eating the spice, and then all of a sudden you'll hit the sweetness of the mango, and it's like, hey, this is good.
Tang.
And then Lisa throws in a cajillion vegetables in with it.
Like, yes, the vegetables. Yes, yes, yes. But yeah, like, and that's really what it's all about, is finding, like, and again, going back to that consciousness, that mindfulness, add sugar. You're like, I don't need, and you probably found another way around it.
We didn't need
No,
You know,
I
like,
didn't. I just put the mango in. Didn't even
Yeah.
think
yeah,
about it.
exactly.
Like
Like
what?
there's another way around. I don't have to. And that goes back to what I was just saying as far as us setting boundaries for
Yeah.
ourselves. Someone would have just put that meal together. Oh, they said that, and just followed it. Someone health conscious or just mindful enough to say, I know I don't need that sugar. Just completely remove it from the recipe and it still tastes good. It's still beneficial. It's still healthy. It's still without the sugar.
Yeah,
That's it.
I know.
Well,
It's
no,
crazy.
with you were saying most people or some people would just follow the recipe. I've figured out I'm almost incapable of following the recipe. I'll get it half done and I'm like, oh, oops, I
Forgot
kind of
those basil leaves or something.
I
You
skipped
got
a
two,
couple
three
steps and
steps.
now I'm going back a step to
It's
do.
still food and it's gonna fill
I
your
know.
belly.
Exactly. Yeah, it's still going to nourish your body. So yeah, that's funny. I have to go back to step two, miss step three, four, and five, and you're all the way on seven. Like, wait a minute, this doesn't look like the picture.
Oh, we love it. We love it though. Oh my gosh. You did mention something that we didn't kind of touch on, and I think I'd like to just kind of cover this last point before we wrap up our podcast, and that was sobriety. You didn't
Oh,
mention you mentioned the word once when you were describing sort of your experience and your life and your detox and your just all these fantastic things, and sobriety was in there. So please do share about that.
yeah, the sugar. But no, when I did my detox, my very, very first one, January of 2022. Um, what let me t when I started detoxing, I did not expect to do all of these changes in my life. Like it was literally not my plan. But during that time, sitting with myself for those 10 days, okay, how am I feeling? What am I doing? I just really started focusing on the effects of alcohol on my decisions, on my health. A lot of my regret came from when I was under the influence. And so I just really like, how can I be a better version of myself when I'm intentionally, knowingly destroying my body? Alcohol isn't any benefit to anyone. It may be temporarily for the way you're feeling, but that's still not a benefit to your body. So if I'm wanting my body to be this natural, this healthy, and alcohol just does not go with that. And that's what came with the dairy and the meat and it's so many things like cereal. It's so many things that I don't eat. My family's like, you can't eat anything. I can't eat anything but whole foods. Like that's what I eat. I don't know what you all eat, but this is what I eat. So I remember I went out with a friend. My detox was January 4th through the 14th. And I went out with a friend on January 28th. My mind, I remember things like an elephant, so don't judge me, you all. So I went out to dinner with a friend on January 28th. And I went to a restaurant that I'm familiar with. And they was walking around with these huge frozen margaritas, the swirls, the colors, strawberry, pineapple, just swirling. And I was like, and I normally get those. So I was like, I'm gonna get one. Mind you, I didn't want one, but when I saw it, I was like, it was familiar.
Yeah.
So I was like, I want one of those. So the waitress brought the drink and I just set it there. I didn't even put the straw in it. And we just kept talking. My friends like, are you gonna drink your drink? I was like, oh yeah, like I had forgot about it. I was like, oh yeah. So I put the straw in it and it's melting, so I just see this layer at the top. And I'm like, I know that sugar, Scott. I know that sugar. And I just got the straw and I was just like a super top, and I just tasted all that sugar. I said, I can't do it. And
Right.
like literally like, from then on, like that was literally my last even like I wouldn't even say like my last drink, but just to be fair, I had an alcoholic beverage, almost 4 years ago. But even then it just came from wanting a healthier body. Alcohol is not a health benefit. It's nothing good can come from me consuming alcohol. I don't want it. So again, just mentally, physically, spiritually, how am I showing up when I was drinking?
You're
How was I
forgetting
behaving?
you're forgetting the biggest aspect right there. The
What is that?
courage.
Oh, yes.
The courage to be able to be there for you. Because a
Yes.
lot of us don't know how to be there for ourselves.
Yes.
We think we
Mhm.
can be there for other people, but how can we be there for other people if we can't be there for ourselves?
Yeah. And so many people, like friends, started falling off because I'm like, oh, I don't drink. And they're just like, so in their minds, they're like, oh, what are we supposed to do now?
Yeah.
So like I literally started losing like friends like left and right. My family still, supports me, but I remember going home for the first time without, since I was sober. And my sister, they was like, oh, it was New Year's, actually. It was New Year's Eve. And they had like a New Year's Eve party. And my sister's like, oh, pour you some wine. I was like, no. She's like, so you don't even drink wine? I was like, no. And she was like, really? I was like we were literally going back and forth. Like she wasn't pushing it on me, but she just could not believe that I'm just like, I just don't drink anything. Like they thought it was just liquor. I was like, like alcohol. I was like, I don't do wine. I don't do anything. And she was like, and she just like yelled out to everyone, do you all know she doesn't drink anything? And everybody's like, what? I'm like, okay, don't make it a big deal. But they just thought like I still consumed something. And I was like, no. So it's like the whole New Year's Eve party. Everyone's just drinking. I'm sitting over there with my sparkling like grape juice. And even then I was, thinking of the sugar, but I was like, it's okay. It's okay. But yeah, like I sat there the whole New Year's Eve party. We did the countdown. I got my drink. I was just like, no, because I think about it, to me, and I'm just going to say the hard truth. To me, I don't feel like I personally could be alive if I'm putting dead things in my body. Thinking about flesh. Would you go up and bite another human? That's what I tell myself. Like, would you go up and just bite another human? Would you fry this person's arm and eat it with barbecue sauce, whatever? No. So what makes me think that it's okay in my mind, my body, my everything to go and eat this animal? So it's all the same. Like there's no benefit to me eating that. So I just look my personal life. I look at things the same. Like I'm not expecting people to say, "Oh, well, she's like this." You can still drink your alcohol. You can still eat your meat. You can still, but there's still a healthier way to live. So in my mind, I just look at, okay, what's benefiting me, or in my mind, what's no longer serving me, and I just had to put alcohol on that list of things that no longer serve me. So
Amazing.
Have you ever, I believe it's on Netflix. It's a show called Forks Over Knives.
no,
And if I'm getting it right, there's a dairy farmer from the East Coast and a beef farmer from the West Coast, and it's the kids, and they both become doctors,
wow,
and they both are completely against eating meat and dairy. And they've actually made the movie, and I
I'm gonna watch
believe it's
that.
Forks Over Knives. And I love meat, and I will never I shouldn't say never, I'll touch wood on that one. I don't choose to give meat up because it's one of the things I enjoy, and I've given
Yeah.
up a lot of stuff I enjoy in life. And however, I do believe a lot of what the movie says too. And it's like my one buddy we were talking to him just before we left, and I said something about my diabetes. He goes, well, you know what causes diabetes? He goes, meat. He goes, what does it filter through again? The kidneys? Yeah, I think it's the kidneys that your stuff gets filtered through. He goes, well, it gets
Is it the liver?
Oh, maybe it's the liver. Yeah, the liver.
I think it's the liver.
The liver
No,
gets
it's the kidneys.
Yeah,
Okay,
well, it's
but
probably, yeah, whatever it is.
Yeah.
He goes, it gets plugged up with grease. So your filter system's broken.
Because do you know it takes 24 to 48 hours for beef to digest? To even break down? Like when I learned things like that, that's why I was like, I cannot go back. And Scott, I'm going to give this to you. I think my family found it so hard, even still to this day. We're like, you still don't eat meat? I'm like, I'm still like blown away. I was a meat eater. There's 8 of us. My mom and dad had 8 children. I'm the baby.
Wow.
My mom, I loved meat so much that my mom would literally make me my own side of like meat because she knew I was going to like eat all the meat from like everyone else. And she's like, that's hers. No one's like, I was the meaty, like Christmas things, like, you reheat your Christmas or, your Thanksgiving. My plate was just ham. I didn't want the side. I would just reheat ham. So I literally, like on holidays, I would have my own little personal like ham. Because I was a meat and I was like, oh, I'm never going to stop eating meat. I love meat. And now people are like, you really don't eat meat. I was like, I know. Like it literally, like I have that like Thanksgiving, it just passed and my family, I don't live around my family anymore. They live in Illinois and I'm in Arizona. But they, were talking about what they were making and this and that. And my mom was just like, you really, like, we just had it again. Like, it's like every couple of years or something. Like, you really don't eat meat. And I'm like, I don't. And it gets me because I'm like, I used to tear food up. Like, I love food, but meat is like, I think so. Scott, when you said that, it's like, you sound just like me. I was like, how can you become vegetarian? Like, how can you not eat meat, chicken, ham, pork, all of these things? But yeah, but believe it or not, throughout my transition, I actually became pollotarian. I didn't know what this word was either. I was like, what is that? Pollotarian is when you only eat poultry, which is, I think, turkey and chicken, like fowl, anything fowl. So I stopped eating pork, beef. Turkey was in there, but I wasn't always a big fan of turkey, so I didn't put turkey in my diet at the time. I became pollotarian in January of 2019. It's something about the beginning of the year, which technically is not the beginning of the year. But we live in, the world we live in. But it's something about January where, like I just love to start new things. And I'm not a New Year's resolution type of person. It's just things just kind of always happen when they happen in the month of January. So I started my pollotarian lifestyle January of 2019. So that's when, I was just only eating chicken. And then I started noticing how a lot of my foods didn't have chicken. And so I was like, okay, maybe we're ready for the next step. Let's try this vegetarian thing. And that's when I found the detox. And I was like, okay, let's do that. So then I stopped eating meat, but I was still eating dairy. So I was vegetarian for like 9-10 months maybe. And then I became vegan. So it was like a transition. So like I said, giving myself grace, starting small. I stopped eating pork. I stopped eating beef. Okay, that's going nice. Now I stopped eating chicken. That's going nice. Let's stop. So I just did it. So that's why I tell people all the time, it's not just about, if I would have, as big, being a meat eater like I was, I could have not, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line, I could have not envisioned being vegan ever. So, but I did it in increments. Like, that's not bad. That's doable. That's not bad. And I just kept taking myself to next levels, pushing myself. Oh, that was easy. I did that next. That was easy next. And then next thing you know, you're vegan and sober. So like it just really happens. Like it really wasn't like a plan. Like, but I just loved the way my body was feeling, and I just know like this could feel better if I let this go. It could feel better if I let this go, and I just kept going. So now, like I said, no eczema, no allergies, no medicine, no ailments, no other diseases, nothing. Like when I go to the doctor, they're like, "Oh, do you need this?" I'm like, "I just want my levels checked. I just wanted to make sure everything is okay." They're like, well, "What are you here for?" The doctor's like, "Oh, do you do this? Do you do that flu shot?" I'm like, no, she's like, well, what are you here for? I just want my levels checked so I can go home. And if something is low, high, whatever, I'll go home and fix it. She was like, really? I was like, I just need you all to check what I can check at home. That's all. I don't need you shooting me with anything. Like, just tell me what my levels are, what my, all of it. I'll go home in my kitchen, which is my pharmacy. And then they get mad too. Oh, what's a pharmacy you use? I don't use a pharmacy. Well, we need a pharmacy. I don't use a pharmacy. I have not used a pharmacy in years. And they're like, well, what's your address? I give them my, oh, well, Walgreens is, you can put it, but I'm never going. It's like they get mad when I can't tell them a pharmacy. I'm like, I don't. Well, in case the doctor needs to send you, the doctor wouldn't send me anything. So it's like, but they don't like that though. They're like, oh, what's the pharmacy you use?
No.
Well, you have to, in case the doctor, don't use a pharmacy. You can find one. Like when I tell you, I cannot tell you where a CVS or Walgreens, I literally do not know where they are.
Yep.
I'm not looking for them, and they're not looking for me either. So
I'm with you there. I don't go to a pharmacy. I don't get anything like that.
like I love the way I feel. Like
I have
Yeah.
like the diabetes, the metformin, and then 2 years ago, I got diagnosed with ADHD, and I take mostly supplements, and I started on half a dose of, or half a regular dose of this one medication. And I kind of liked how I feel. And talking to the doctor, he's like, well, why don't you try one more? You'll be doing 3/4 of what you're supposed to be taking. And it's like, and then the last meeting I just had with him, it's like, I've noticed with the extra, it's like I have more clarity, I have more thought process. And it's like, so I went up to a full dose just recently, and I'm really glad I did, because it's leveled up once again, and it's bizarre how some people like myself, I was so adamant that I was not going somewhere that I was going to get labeled, but it saved my life. And I was go back even a few more years before that, and it was like, labels, you're one of them freaks. And it's like, today I guess I'm one of them freaks, because it's really helped my life getting properly diagnosed. At least that's what I feel. Like I don't know if you've ever heard of him, but Dr. Amen, he's in the States. Oh my God, psychiatrist. And he bashes other psychiatrists because all they want to do is dole out medication. And he goes, we're the only profession that treats symptoms that we don't even examine. However, you go there and he does a SPECT scan of your brain. And it's actually neat. They had it because it was a Zoom call, the appointment. And they got your brain on the Zoom, and they're
we were down there
rolling it
first.
around, and it's pretty neat. And
Yeah.
and it explains, like the way he explained it, it was like, wow, that makes sense.
Yeah. That's actually, with you pointing that out, that's actually the biggest reason, like, because I have a degree in psychology. And so many people was like, oh, the money is where the medicine is. And I was like, I don't want that. So I knew years ago, I was like, this is not the way to live, pumping people with this stuff and all that. So that's literally the only distinction between psychology and psychiatry is medication. And like I said, even with you pointing that out, like, that's what this world, like, that's what we do. It's like we just do what we think is good. But is it really, really good? And it's like we get so used to modern medicine. We get so used to the way our parents, their parents, and we can take it all the way back to generations and traditions and all that. But it's like, when do you break the cycle? When do you say, okay, my mom lived like this, her mom, and it could keep going on for, centuries, but I want this for myself. So even me not taking medication, not eating meat, not drinking, I look like I am for sure a label in my family. And do I feel away? No, but my family over time, they are now more mindful of things. Like, it's so it's so bad for me. Like, I don't even cook with certain pots because I know the toxins that's in the pots and all that, and certain foods and dishes. And so now my family's like, oh, I bought stainless steel pots and got rid of the nonstick. I'm like, yes, so it's small things. Or I didn't use the microwave, I used the stove to heat up my food. Yes, like, small changes. That's it. It's so, once we know better, and I get it, it's not always when we know better, we do better. My thing is, when we know better, I would like for us to do better. And I say that to myself as well. When I know better, I would like to do better, because knowledge isn't always power, because we have to give ourselves that power first before we can say, okay, this is what I know to do. Let me do it. No, you have to have power in your mind to say, okay, this is what I want to do. Not this is what I know to do, but this is what I want to do. And that's how we get started. So, yeah, just small adjustments, small changes, or as I mentioned, one habit at a time.
One habit. It's a perfect way to end our podcast. One habit at a time. So Tiffany Haywood, where can our audience get a hold of you so they can reach out to you?
Yes, everything is on my website. It's still building and it's still growing, my website, because I'm just steady offering new things. Like, how can I help? How can I help? How can I help? So my website is forever growing, but as of now, my platform is still the same. It is www.tiffanyNhaywood.com, and that is the middle initial N. Haywood.com. So my community, the store is coming soon, as I mentioned, the detox plans, meal plans, workbooks, ebooks, guides, downloads. All of that will be on there. But yes, you all can connect with me on my website and my socials, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and now my LinkedIn. My virtual assistant is like, I think you should get a LinkedIn. So I was like, that's fine. But everything is the same handle, Tiffany N. Haywood.
Excellent. Thank you, Tiffany. It's been an amazing conversation. We appreciate your time.
Thank you all so much. I appreciate it so much for you all having me. This was amazing. You all are lovely, lovely people, and you all thank you so much for the opportunity.
And we get to
Good.
say thank you in Thai. So I'll say kapunka.
Kapun krap.
Kapunka. Kapunka.
Kapunka, that's women.
And men say
Kapunka.
kapun krap.
Yeah.
Kapunka. Ooh, thank you.
And when you greet, for women it's swati ka.
Swati
And
ka.
for a man it's swati krap.
Krap or cap. It depends what part of Thailand
Yeah,
I think you're in. Yeah.
It's pretty
That
neat.
just keeps playing in my head. No. Well, thank you all so much. I appreciate that.
You're
Thank
very
you.
It's
welcome.
been an excellent hour. I've loved it.
Want to get our books fast and at the best price? Get your electronic copy at https://payhip.com/Lisa Scott Brearley authors. Again, that's https://payhip.com/Lisa Scott Brearley authors.